right out of my pants. Don't you know I got a little secret? It's the ace of hearts up my sleeve. And when I get home to my honey, she give me love like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. When I'm walking through my neighborhood, everybody knows I'm feeling good. See me smiling from my head to my feet. They say, ain't that Mr. Lucky coming down the street? Hey, that's me. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss my lips, when you touch me with your fingertips. I'm Mr. Lucky when you hold me tight. I'm Mr. Lucky when we kiss goodnight. Baby, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. You know that's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your hump day? Somebody mentioned it was hump day. It is hump day. And we here at the Tom Gully Show, of course, as always, hope you are getting the full, total, and complete amount of hump that you so desperately crave and you so righteously deserve. Yeah. Can you dig it? Okay, we got people in the room. They're here. They know who they are. And it's getting closer to Christmas. Yay. This year promises to be just an awesome Christmas. And in the Christmas spirit, let's talk about some things you'll completely ignore. Number one, you can go to the merchandise store at TomGullyShow.com. And just look for where it says store, and you can get things and for yourself or others, and I make a little money. Or you can go to paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. Just straight up give me cash for Christmas. Or you can go to patreon.com/The Tom Gully Show. It's all down in the crawl or the description of this show. And I think it's $3 a month, and you get to see things that are not suitable for airplay on your conventional social media platforms. In other words, they're scandalous and titillating. Yeah. And by the way, thanks to all of you who have just rushed to support this program. Let's see. JC says, can you dig it? From the Warriors. Yes, JC, I can dig it. JC belongs to a group of people who've also been just amazing at supporting me. And man, have they done a tremendous job of that, considering the amount of content and dollars that have flowed through their little world based upon ridiculing me. So again, I appreciate the support. I really do. Here at Christmas time, this wonderful time of giving and selflessness and the manger and all that crap. 972-994-6822. That's the number to call that no one will call. And by the way, if you do choose to call, don't do it until after I'm done reading this story and showing you pictures of what can only be described as a horrifying event involving molasses. And I'm sure you're thinking, molasses? Molasses never hurt anybody. How wrong you are. Here at the Christmas season, the Tom Gully Show would like to remind you that anything, no matter how innocuous, can kill you. And a Happy New Year. Okay. All right. I might as well start off with this picture here. Let me tell you about the Great Molasses Flood, or by its other name, the Boston Molasses Disaster. And you know, it's a really good disaster when they come up with two different names for it. Kind of a pick your own disaster name thing that all the kids like today because it's customizable. You got a choice and stuff. It was way back in January of 1919 in Boston's North End. Oh, yes, it was. Temperatures in Beantown had just risen to a somewhat unseasonable 40 degrees, which was a huge increase from the brutal cold of just a few days before. Just one day before this gigantic flood, a seagoing vessel had dropped off a fresh load of molasses, which had to be heated up because molasses, once it solidifies, you can't just dump into another thing. You have to heat it up to get it flowable and more easily transferred from the ship to the storage tank filled with, get this, and I'm showing you that tank right there. See that big giant thing that's protruding above that other building? Yes. That is a tank filled with 2.3 million gallons of molasses. And it was absolutely huge, as you can see. 50 feet tall, 90 feet in diameter. Well, it's about this time that everything went wrong. Maybe, nobody knows for sure, maybe the warm new molasses that were dumped into the tank caused the older, cooler molasses already in the tank to expand. But either way, the tank busted open and experienced a complete structural failure just a little after noon. People nearby said they felt the ground shake and heard a tremendous roar akin to the sound of a passing L train. Some said it was like a thunderclap bang, accompanied by a machine gun-like sound caused by the rivets shooting out of the tank. And I'm sure you're asking yourself, well, let's go into the chat room and see if anything's there. You got it, Tom. Well, yeah, thanks. That's a sticky situation. I stopped my story for that. Okay. And you may be asking yourself, what does 2.3 million gallons of unleashed molasses do? Well, that's going to require a little science time, kids. Molasses is about 40% more dense than water. That means when it's unleashed, all the associated energy is much greater. When the tank collapsed, it created a wave 25 feet high and moving at 35 miles per hour. Buildings in the area were swept off their foundations and several city blocks, not just one, not just several city blocks, were left 2 to 3 feet deep in molasses. Here's a report from the Boston Post, which I'll do in old-timey voice because it sounds better and I like it. Molasses, waist deep, covered the street and swirled and bubbled around the wreckage. Here and there struggled a form, whether it was animal or human. That was impossible to tell. Only an upheaval, a thrashing about in the sticky mass showed where any life was. Horses died like so many flies on sticky flypaper. The more they struggled, the deeper in the mess they were ensnared. Human beings, men and women, suffered likewise. But things got worse. After that initial sloppy wave, the cool air made the molasses become viscous, solidified. And those trapped in the wave were even more difficult to rescue at that point. 21 people were killed and 150 were injured. Countless horses were killed. Some people and horses were crushed and or drowned by the molasses. Others were crushed and or drowned by the debris that the flood created. So you had your choice, Rescuers faced a nearly impossible task of making their way through the molasses to get to the injured. Searching continued for 4 days. Many of those killed were so totally glazed in molasses, they were unrecognizable. Some victims that were swept into Boston Harbor weren't found till 3 or 4 months after the flood. Purity Distilling, the company that owned the molasses tank, was immediately sued, and the company claimed that the tank was exploded by anarchists in what would have been a very rare case of molasses anarchy. When the court stopped laughing, they found the company responsible and ordered a payment to the victims in the amount of $628,000, which in today's wampum is $10.6 million. The cleanup, well, that took weeks. Salt water from a fireboat trying to wash away the molasses and sand to absorb it was used in an attempt to clean up. Boston Harbor was brown that summer because of all the molasses flowing into it, as was the rest of the city, as rescue workers, cleanup workers, and sightseers tracked the molasses onto sidewalks, into trolley cars, into train cars, into payphones, and into their homes. It was said that for a couple of years, every single thing in Boston was sticky. In fact, the sweet smell of molasses lasted for decades. Finally, in 2019, the concrete slab for the base of the tank was located by ground-penetrating radar. It was located about 20 inches below the surface of the ground on the baseball diamond at Langon Park. They had a ceremony. I'm assuming there were no molasses at the ceremony. Here's a few pictures for you. Here would be just the destruction near one of the train tracks nearby. Now, the tank isn't there. That's nothing from the actual collapse of the tank. That's just good old-fashioned regular destruction. Don't you know? This here, yonder, is more destruction and molasses. And so all that stuff on the ground, that's sticky, sticky, sticky molasses everywhere you can see. If you were to see an overhead shot of the city of Boston, you would be surprised at how many blocks, how much of the city was under molasses. 2.3 million gallons, folks. And then, of course, huge molasses tank explodes in North End. 11 dead, 50 hurt. Apparently that 11 dead had to be increased. Search for more victims during the night. No escape from giant wave of fluid. Giant wave of 2,300,000 gallons of molasses, 50 feet high, sweeps everything before it. 100 men, women, and children caught in sticky stream. Buildings, vehicles, and L structure crushed. So, there you go. There you go. Conclusion, don't put that much molasses in one spot. You just don't, why should, just spread it out a little bit. Don't put, you get 2.3 mil in one tank. Why not have 4 or 5, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I can get rid of that now. Boom, gone. Let's just see what's going on in our chat room. People are saying, Dabble Jew wanted to say that about the sticky situation. Somebody beat him to it. Oh, darn. Reverend Wild Bill says, hola, hola, Reverend Wild Bill. Let's see. You got your... Hey there, folks. My shower curtain was ruined in a terrible molasses flood. Luckily, you can get a great The Tom Gully Show curtain to replace it. Yeah, if you want. Whatever. So, yeah, that's about it. There's all the info you need about the great molasses flood. We have crap. Really though, I just go to paypal.me/Tom Gully Show and give me money. If you really want to do something, that's what you can do. If you want to, you can go to the store. You can get yourself a big coffee mug. By the way, everything in the store, or most of the things in the store, I don't know. They don't make it easy to understand. They said winter sale or winter-wide sale till the 22nd is 40. Everything's 40% off, and I don't know whether that's winter stuff like coats and sweatshirts. I don't know. You got to find out yourself. There's another thing you can get, and then there's another thing you can get. That girl there looks healthier than this girl here. I'm not going to mention why. And then there's this guy here who is wearing a shirt. And then there's this guy here, and that's me. And that was created by another show. And some people that don't think I'm 6'5". Julian Zeezer says if Boston needs that much molasses, imagine how many baked beans they were eating. Yeah. It truly boggles the mind. Or you can go to Patreon, $3 a month. There's stuff there. It's filthy dirty. You'll love it. And 972-994-6822 is the number for the number that I have for the show that's really, I'd say virtually worthless. It's absolutely no good to anyone. Doesn't ever get used. When it does, people just yell out obscenities. So, yeah. Oh, wait, here's some. Which t-shirt do you recommend? The fashion tee or the regular tee? I have no recommendations about any of that stuff. I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Absolutely doesn't matter to me. None is my recommendation. Don't buy any of it. Why should we start now? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody, and peace on earth, and goodwill to your fellow man, and all that other stuff that we try to, pretend is evident during the Christmas season, but we ignore during the rest of the year, and if we really thought about it, it doesn't happen at Christmas either. JC says, I believe you're 6'5". Really? Yep. Stacy Allen says, I'm 6'5". Yes, I am 6'5" tall. Let me see here. I used to have a picture somewhere of me being 6'5" tall. Uncle Jack says, hey, Tom, what's happening? I'm just sitting here lamenting the quality of this program. Let's see. From my computer. I wonder if I can find... I did have a picture of me and Dwight Yoakam where I'm towering above him. You know what? I think that's it right there. But it's not a JPEG, so I've got to go. Here's what I'll do. I'll have to show it behind me. StreamYard kind of sucks because they make you have JPEGs instead of PDFs instead of JPEGs for the screen. Let me see if this is it. That's it. All right, so here's me and my sister with Dwight Yoakam. Okay, now I'm going to have to get out of the way. Look at that. Look at that there. Look how much taller than Dwight Yoakam I am. There, let me get out of the way. Daggone it. There, yeah, I'm 6'5". There I am, right there. There's little Dwight Yoakam. And there's my sister. One of the few people that's on my Patreon, my sister. Yes, other than family members, I'm not doing that great on Patreon. Really, we need it right into the PayPal, though. Just straight up cash. I don't care if it's a penny. Let's not go through all the other falderall. This show will never be monetized. I don't understand the monetization process. I've looked up how many viewing hours I have, and it's like 2,600. And I'm like, well, we're only 400 away. And then I went to their page about signing up for the monetization, and it says I only have 737. Let me tell you something, kids. I ain't going to crack rock like that for forever to get monetized. That ain't happening. I'll be long done with this crap by then. Anyway, does anybody want to see any more of me being 6'5"? Hold on a second. There you go. That's our floor show for today's program. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm deleting that other background. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Okay, so, boy, what do we got going on here? Stacy Allen, who's one of the coolest people on earth, says I am 6'5". There's people out there that aren't very smart, and it doesn't really bother me because they can think what they want. But the thing that annoys me is they read something in the press. I'm a member of the press, and I'm telling you right now, if one person says one place in the press something's true, they'll just pick it up and put it everywhere. Okay, fine. Could be true, could not be true. But then they get a picture of me when I'm 17 and I'm not as tall as that person and go, see, he's not 6'5". Meanwhile, I have countless dozens of photographic evidence, including that photo of Dwight Yoakam, who's 6 feet tall. As you can see, I'm a little bit taller than him. But I also have like tons of doctor's reports and state-issued identification. And all they have is, well, this article says this, and you're standing next to him, and it's just... For what I do for a living, it's just so easy to disprove. But trolls and people that aren't that bright, you can't convince them of things. You just can't. So it's better not to try. But it's the process that annoys me. Go think whatever you want. I am not going to wrestle the gun out of somebody's hand if they want to shoot themselves in the foot. That's not me. But it's like, just don't be around me if you're going to be that stupid. Jack says, what's happening? I think I already answered that. Tom, thoughts on Robert Pattinson's Batman? Haven't seen it. Uncle Jack says, whoa. I don't know what that means either. Positive Patriot says, hey, Tom. Hey. SG Fanboy says, were you 1,000 miles from nowhere? That's obviously a reference that I'm not getting. Stacy Allen says, all shucks, Gully. But are they framed reports? No. Oh, I put my college degree back in the closet. Sorry, I would show you that. It's not framed. It's still in the leather thing. Ross Dogs is here. Says hello, hello. Hello, hello. 972-994-6822 is the number that I've, gotten for this show that I basically just have for no reason. It's just a number there. Julian Zeezer says, whoops, if you're going to try to get in the Guinness Book of World Records for something, what would it be? Not being monetized for the longest period of time. I was watching Perry Caravello last night, and I saw that he had over 1,500 people streaming. And I thought, maybe, and then I'm just spitballing here, maybe what I need to do is go out in my front yard, get my neighbor to bring over a shovel and have him hit me in the side of the head as hard as he can so that I am permanently mentally not there. And then come back in here and get in front of the camera, because that seems to be what the people want. So that would be it. I would like to be the internet show that makes the least money, in fact, loses money for, things like this phone line that nobody, it's completely useless. So that's what I'd like. That's what I'd like to be in here for. Merry Christmas, one and all. Hope you have a great one. Things are going fabulous here. Just fabulous. Yeah. Got a great terrestrial radio position. It's just fun every day and challenging and unique and entertaining, and wow. It's not at all derivative and boring and unnecessary and inconsequential. And then I do this show. Then I tell you about things like the Boston Molasses flood that beguile and captivate you. I could, I suppose, pile on to a person who's proven themselves to be flawed in many, 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 many ways. It just doesn't appeal to me. No matter how funny and entertaining and talented the people doing it are, just at a certain point, I'm just like, seen every episode of Cheers. It's not that I can't keep watching them, but I don't know. Ross says, send Joey C the link. I would, but I'm not convinced that this computer setup is going to accommodate another person. Something screwed up with it from Discord, and so it is a Herculean task just to get this piece of junk show on every day. Yeah, good times. And deck the halls, and merry Yuletide greetings, and yeah, enjoy. And eggnog, anybody? Anybody? Eggnog? Anybody wants some dry roasted peanuts by any chance? That happen to be here. I could just go through my mail here. Let's see what Wrexham board. I don't care about that. Oh boy, Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Okay, that's what I need to see. What's the hoopla around Joey C's Discord? Well, I think that there were some major league losers that were in it, and they were causing problems, and they were being trolls in many areas, and I think he got rid of them. That's the only hoopla I know about. I know I personally went in there and was accosted by 3 total scumbags that if I met them in real life, even though I'm an old man, I would have broke my foot off inside their posterior and then spit upon them. That's all I know. That's all I know. But that's what the internet has provided us, you see, is a way for caustic, brainless, motivationless, loser people to thrive, at least in their own minds, by getting their giggles, making other people annoyed and miserable. That's the key benefit of the internet, other than it has increased the world's export of preening. That's what we want, is lots of people preening on the internet. Just look at me, dig me. I'm better than everyone else. Yeah, nobody's better than anybody. That's all I know about it. SG Fanboy says, Tom, I've been driving 1,000 miles from nowhere was a Dwight Yoakam song. If you say so, I don't know that Dwight Yoakam song. I know Turn Me Up, Turn Me Loose, and I know Guitars Cadillacs, and I certainly know Streets of Bakersfield, which he did in a duet with the original singer of that song, Buck Owens, but I don't know 1,000 Miles from Nowhere. I'm sorry. Ross Dog says, accosted. Oh, yeah, it was in a voice chat. And some real slimy types with absolutely no life accomplishments. God, I wish I could be there on their deathbed when they're going, remember that time we sent a nasty video to somebody while we were streaming? What a life accomplishment. But I went into the voice chat and it was immediately, slurs of every kind and just yelling and okay, whatever, man. Whatever. Certainly don't need to be in Discord voice chat. Discord jacks up my computer too, really badly. I don't like that. It chaps my wagon like you can't imagine. So yeah, just having good times here for the Christmas season. Let's see here. Edgelords. I don't know what that means, but it sounds impressive. Discord is aptly named, I guess. There's certain functionalities of it I like, and I think it probably would be a good platform. It's just every time I go on it, it jacks up my sound. My computer is just never the same after I go into Discord. And people in there go, oh, well, it's not really meant for Macintosh computers. Well, then why, not put a sign up out front or something? I don't know. The Kahuna says, good evening, my beloved host and chat. Good evening. Good evening, Kahuna. Good evening. I mean, I wish I had it in me to sit and ridicule the same person morning, noon, and night. And I'm not begrudging anybody who is, because they're obviously making a good living doing it. But I don't know, man. After a while, I get old. It gets old. I can't. It was fun making fun of the kid that thought Babylon 5 was real at the bus stop for the first 2 or 3 months. But after that, I was like, we've been down this road before. So I'm not saying anybody that's doing it is wrong. I'm just saying I can't take that much of it. And I've been belly deep in it. I mean, I did a, cannonball off the 30-foot, 2-foot high dive into it. And now it's to the point where, Karen Garvey's here. She said the preening is tiresome. That's why I think you're a breath of fresh air. Well, there'll be no preening here. And even if there was, could anyone tell? Really? Seriously? JC says, wait, Babylon 5 isn't real? Whatever you want to be real is real. Stacey Allen says, Gully, you seem a bit down tonight. I know. It's because people have been calling me by my last name. No, I'm kidding. It's just certain times of year and certain stuff and certain things and certain this and certain that, and just having an off night and just just doing a show for a handful of people for apparently no reason. Let's see here. JC says, next you're going to tell me Santa Claus isn't real. I would never tell you that, although I would tell you need to learn to spell how to Santa Claus. But anyway. Are you wearing a mock turtleneck under a sweatshirt? No, actually what I'm wearing is a, those what do they call them? Like compression shirts that are fleece on the inside. I'm wearing one of those. I went on a walk before I did the show. I went on a very dejected, if there were white picket fences in my neighborhood, I would have walked along the white picket fence with a stick in my hand and drug it along the fence with sad piano music. JC says that's a dickie, Stacy. Stacy says a dickie, and she's laughing, and it's not a dickie. It's not a dickie. A dickie is a shirt that only it goes under your thing. It's not even a shirt. It's almost like I don't know what it is. But a dickie only comes down to here and looks like a turtleneck. Mine comes way down to in this region. So that's not a dickie. Santa Claus is real, says Paz. Mrs. Claus is not real, if you know what I mean. Stacy said, Gully, do you take show suggestions? Maybe walk us through the history of the dickie. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Let me write that down. Stacy, were you here for the great Molasses disaster? There's actually a company called Dickie's that's right here in the DFW area. And I know somebody who works there. And so that means I could actually probably get a tour of the Dickie factory or the headquarters. And, there you go. So she heard some of the Molasses. Yes, I was driving at the time. JC said, love to hear about the history of Dickies. Yeah, well. JC says, not the workwear company. I'll get right on that. Let me write this down. History of me not liking being called by my last name by people. How about that history? Let's see here. What do we got? How can we extend this show another frickin' 25 minutes? That's gonna be a real pain. I'm messing with you, Stacy. I don't care. I really don't care about anything right now. It's a holiday. Fun holiday. So yeah, that's what's going on. And let me see here. Let's just see what I can find about a thing that somebody asked me to find out about a thing. Let's give Tom some future show suggestions, chat. Yeah, Stacy, actually, I have about the next 10 shows already taken care of. Not really looking for show suggestions, really. really looking for more viewers and monetization of some kind. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. All right. Ooh, look out. The dicky is a type of shirt front that is worn attached to the shirt collar, then tucked into the... Well, that's not the dicky we're looking at. Okay, recently dickies have been rising in popularity. Dickies and men-inspired lingerie became popular as a break from minimalist and restrictive fashions at the time. At the same time, detachable collars and dickies were showing up on the runway as Peter Pan collars. In 2013, the materials used for dickies was expanding from knits and cotton to leather and silk. In 2014, the fall-winter season saw the dickie return as a winter accessory to keep the neck warm. Contemporary designers in 2015, like Michael Kors, adopted the dickie in his resort line. In an interview with InStyle magazine, Kors said the dickie was a way to add versatility to a look without adding bulk. Yes, well, there you go. There you go. The dickies they're talking about, at least all the ones in this article I'm reading, are super they're super high end. They're for dress. They're for like tuxedos and stuff. Among dandies, the use of the dickie is considered bad style in the wearing of traditional modes of black tie and white evening dress. Hi, and welcome to Tom Gully's show. You're on the air.
Is this the Tom Gully?
Yeah, it is.
This is the Uncle Jack. Come on, dude. Why you sit down?
Hey, Uncle Jack, how you doing? Don't you have a show premiere tonight?
Yeah, I'm just out walking Dozer now, and
Yeah.
that's on. I was catching your show, of
Has
course.
he
and,
got his little rain outfit on, or?
Well, yeah, a little one. It's cold though. It's not raining here.
So who's your guest tonight?
His name is JJ. He has a YouTube channel. It's the Silly Offensive. He does satire. It's comedy. It's crazy stuff that you would see in a Philly neighborhood. People abusing the welfare system, ignorant people, people on drugs, stuff like that. You know, just regular people from Philly.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Well, it is. We've done a few videos. I did a couple with him a couple of years ago. And we're looking to do some projects. We've been talking and planning some stuff, so I figured I'd have him on tonight and see where it goes. Either I'll
Awesome.
get to bed or, I'll do okay. Who knows?
What time does that show begin?
10 p.m.
Eastern.
Eastern. Yes.
Yeah.
Eastern.
And they can find it on the YouTube at what channel?
It is at, and there's no spaces, Uncle Jack's Shack.
No spaces, no commas, no nothing.
No, nothing. Just Uncle Jack's Shack. Very simple.
Well, that sounds pretty awesome, man. I wish you the best of success.
Well, maybe you can pop on with us.
I'm gonna be not here.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I have to go do some training.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I gotta go. I have to go train to do something I've been doing for the last. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, that's a good use of my time. Well, let me get my camera back into. There we go. So yeah,
Maybe you can take a little flask with you and make it entertaining.
I don't drink.
I was going to say, you could take some Christmas spirit with you.
I don't do anything fun at all, ever.
Well, maybe it's time you start. Tom, come on. Don't complain.
I don't know. It's a little late in the game to be enjoying myself.
I'm 50, and I'm just getting into this, and I don't even care. I'm here to have fun.
Well,
I'm
good.
wasting my life doing other shit and wasting my time making sure everybody else is okay. Now it's time for me to have.
I'm substantially older than you, and I don't know. I think if I started having fun, I might be paralyzed. Karen Garvey, Jack's show is 10 p.m. Eastern, and I'm sure he'll put the address of it in the chat when he gets done walking Dozer.
Yeah. As soon as I get done this, I can jump back on. I was listening to you as I was walking him on the phone, and I'm like, I got to call in.
Well,
You
good.
sound like you lost a puppy here. I understand.
Just to know that the thing works and someone's using it, that's enough right there.
Well, it definitely works.
Yeah.
And what's good is you have a public number out there, but nobody can do what they did to Joey's show the other night and pull those shenanigans.
Yeah, those dudes are they're perpetually in sixth grade in all ways. You know, they're never going to have a girlfriend. They probably work at McDonald's, if even that, and they giggle at meaningless pranks.
Who cares? You don't let it bother you. Let it roll off.
No, it doesn't bother me. I'm relatively happy about the fact that they have to be condemned to a lifetime of being themselves. That's fitting punishment, if you ask me. But anyway, well, come on back into the chat room and put all your info in there, and a bunch of people will watch you.
Absolutely, and I hope you're one of them.
Well, I'm going to be getting training. But I'll watch it the next day or tonight later.
Maybe what you could do is say, hey, listen, let's do a little something different. Let me train you on something. And then you can put my show on and just say this is, what not to do.
It's going to be hard enough for me not to push somebody out of a very tall building. Yeah. I'm going to just sit there and keep looking at my watch. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right. See you, V. Tom Gully.
All right. That's the Uncle Jack. He's a fine man. And his show airs tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on all of your YouTube network stations. And he will be, I think it's at Uncle Jack's Shack. So you could check that out now if you wanted to, I guess. I mean, the location of it. Let's see here. Tom, have you ever thought or done a show about D.B. Cooper? I have. Jack Hanna-Barbera says, maybe you should get on TikTok. I hear it's big with the kids. I hear it's big with the Chinese as well. Stacy says, see, that's interesting. Yeah. Zephod says, I don't know what that first letter or word means. Your pa got a dickie. That's how people from the southwest of England has your dad got a donkey. You're welcome. Those people in England, they use this stuff called Bovril. It's really... Stacey Allen says, the Uncle Jack. That was the Uncle Jack, Karen Garvey and Stacey Allen. Paz says, I can't hear the caller well. Can you please tell him to speak up? He did after a second, so I didn't tell him to. Hope you could hear him. Jack says, ask Jack if he ever wore a dickie. Too late. Uncle Jack says, I wore a dickie on my dickie. Well, all right. Julian Zeezer says, those English people butcher the English language. Not really. They're good with it, but I don't know. I don't know what Zephod was putting there. I don't know. Zephod says, I cannot be Bovril shamed. Can you just use some beef bouillon and mix it down or something? Please. There's more to life than Bovril. Karen Garvey says, at Uncle Jack's Jack Shack. Is that it? All right. 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be in training for this spectacular holiday season. Hey, let me just update you on how well things are going. If it wasn't for Karen Garvey, we would have not made anything on this show, period. Now, I don't care about the income part of it. It's what's the reason you're doing it for part of it, because if you're just doing it for nothing, then you shouldn't be doing it. But anyway, Terry Nee says, two great societies separated by a common language. That's for sure. Uncle Jack says the show is on at 10 p.m. Hopefully I don't defecate the sheets. Maybe we should, I don't want to say that. The show can be found by Uncle Jack's Jack Shack. Yeah, Karen Garvey already did the groundwork for you there. That was pretty cool of her. But my steady gal, who's really normally very busy, was here earlier. She had to go back out because she does home sales, and I was rushing around to get ready to do this, and she said, what are you doing? And I said, I got to get ready to do this show. And she said, well, what do you need to do? And I said, well, I have to prepare for this, and I have to write the show, and I have to get information, and I have to get photos, and I have to convert those into PDFs, and I'm telling her all this stuff. She goes, well, how many people watch your show? And that's when I, was taken through a logical exercise by she who must be obeyed, and I kind of went, you know what, you got a point. Karen Garvey says, hello, Terry Nee. Karen Garvey says, Tom, do you enjoy doing the show? Well, I do. Some days more than others, but I think anyone who does a show, more than anything else, wants other people to enjoy it. And I don't mean wants by you forcing them to, but hopefully you're putting something out there that more than just a few people on the internet would be interested in. And then if you're not, then maybe you shouldn't really be. Karen says, Tom, I get it. Yeah. Pa says she sounds like a hater. She's not. She's a realist. She was turning me into one earlier today. And I don't like the holidays and everything else. And just, yeah. So we did do a show today. Boy, has it been a corker. I personally am fascinated by the great molasses disaster of Boston, or whatever they're calling the Boston molasses flood, the flood of molasses in Boston, the disastrous flood of Boston disaster. Yeah, Terry Nee says next year is ready for the Tom Gully show, if we make it that far. Paz says so was Mao. Well, so have a lot of people been. But anyway, this molasses pretty much killed 21 people, injured 150, killed a bunch of horses. It's 3 feet. It's about 3 feet, about yay big, about yay high right here, about yay high in molasses. And killed a bunch of people. And, there's other famous, deadly fluid things that have happened. And I'm going to cover them too, by the way. I'm not doing it this week because you can only really probably have one giant food-related flood, deadly occurrence show per week, especially during the holidays. We've got the London beer flood. We'll be covering it. And we also have the Dublin whiskey fire, which was a flood as well. We're also going to do Steve Irwin. We're also going to do the Pacers telethon that saved the Indiana Pacers. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in existence. And the late holiday shopping special, too. Got to do that one. A couple trainload of peanuts in Boston could have been the peanut brittle capital of the world. Sure could have. Terry Nee says, can't wait to take photos of the Tom Gully clock around the area. TMI, for example. Too much information, for example? I don't know. TMI, is that related to EMI? Karen Garvey says, what would go through your mind the moment you realize you're going to die in a flood of molasses? Well, this thing was 50 feet high at one point, 25 feet high, moving at a speed of 35 miles an hour. Humans at their top speed run 20 to 25 miles an hour. I don't know that you would have known. I mean, I think it probably would have happened so quick. It would have just... I don't know. I hey, that's a lot of molasses. Gotta not be near the molasses, I guess. I don't know. 3 Mile Island. Oh, you're going to take the clock next to 3 Mile Island? Okay, man. That's actually interesting, but I don't know. The clock's going to work after that. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Like the Cassandra paradox. Don't know what that is. I know what the Cassandra crossing is. This hare does not want to behave. Well, let's see, we're here. Yeah, it just doesn't want to behave today. Especially over on this side. These guys over here, oh well, it's so screwed up, I might as well not even worry about it now. Terry Nee, I remember that. I was in the potential blast area. Oh yeah, 3 Mile Island. Oh yeah. Everyone's laughing and having a good time. I should be back here tomorrow in time for another really great show. And was this show a downer? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, it ought to make you much happier about the rest of your joyous, family-related, mirthful, spiritual, holiday joyousness. Just by comparison. 1 3-pointer to save your life. Would you rather have Reggie Miller or Larry Bird shoot it? Please, Larry Bird. It's Pat Riley that said, if I needed one shot taken to win a game, I'd pick Michael Jordan. If I needed one shot taken to save my life, it would be Larry Bird. Julian Caesar says, who would have thunk molasses was deadlier than boom slangs? Yeah. Karen Garvey says, Pennsylvania has some dark humor. Yeah, well, they should. With all the things that happen Terry Nee says, Jack, we evacuated to Pottstown. Okay, Positive Patriot. Cassandra saw a giant boulder tumbling down the mountain in the direction of his village. His family was all near him, and he wasn't sure to tell them or not, as there was no way to escape. I gotcha. Positive. So stay positive or be negative before dying. Do something. All right, that's going to do it for this little extravaganza here today. I do appreciate everybody being here, especially Positive Patriot, Terry Nee, Karen Garvey, Julian Caesar, Jack Hanna-Barbera, Uncle Jack's. Please watch his show tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time at Uncle Jack's Jack Shack on YouTube. I think I got it right there. Uncle Jack's Jack Shack. Yeah, I think that's it. Positive Patriot was here, as was Stacy Allen, as was Zephod, as was JC, as was other people and things. Oh, Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit was here. SG Fanboy was here. As I scroll back up, Wild Bill was here. The Dabble Jew was in here. Kif Dunnage. A lot of these people that get here early leave. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. Because the show is slow like molasses. At any rate, I guess the only thing left to say is, till next time, go see Uncle Phil. Till next time, we'll see you next time.